So, you know EIDL, you've heard about PPP, you may have gotten your stimulus check, but do you know what PUA is? What's PUA? Well, you need to know what PUA is, and this video is going to explain it to you. It's going to cover several things. First of all, what it is, how much it is, do you qualify, when will you get paid, and who is running it. There's a lot of stuff out there, and we are here to inform you and to educate you about all these plans. But this one is the one coming right away. And in some states, the application window has already started. So here we are. PUA stands for Pandemic Unemployment Assistance. Who operates? Well, it's part of the CARES Act, but it's piggybacked on top of the state-run unemployment divisions of your respective state. So basically, in simple words, you will be applying on your state's unemployment website. Each state has their own website dedicated for unemployment assistance. That's where you're going to be applying. They are the body that's going to be paying you, and if you have any questions, you direct it to them. All right, so that is generally what the program and how it's operated is and how it's formulated. Now let's get to the amount of money. The amount of money, and this is a grant, it's not a loan, it's a grant. It comes in three possible stages and three different amounts. Generally, you have unemployment amount of benefits, and it's a certain prescribed amount. What's happening here, and you're going to hear in a second, you hear the $600 number, that's because it's being given on top of what you would normally get as a result of the CARES Act federal program. All right, so there are three different payment periods. The first is from February 2nd to late March. That's phase one. It's retroactive. What does retroactive mean? It means you'll get paid backwards based upon the date in which you are impacted by COVID-19. That period, you will be paid at least approximately $169 per week. All right. Phase two, the second phase, late March to somewhere in May. And you can look on the website for your respective state. It actually delineates the exact date, but I'm being general for you at the moment. During the second phase, you will get paid at least $169 plus $600 per week. And that is as a result, that is if you're impacted by COVID-19 during that period. So basically, if you are, you could be paid as at least $3,000 per month during that period. The final possible period, it may apply to you, it may not, goes back to $169 per week at least during the time in which you are impacted by COVID-19. Right, so that is the amounts of money. It again is a grant. It's not a loan. You are given it and paid it, and you do not repay it back. Third, when do you get the money? The money, if you have not previously been unemployed and part of the unemployment system, depending on the way your state does it, you might get a debit card, and that debit card has some backlog to it. So you could, the current indications are about 4 weeks out. You started the application process on the very first day. So you're not going to get the check right away, and you're not going to get a check. In some cases, you'll get a debit card that gets refunded by the state as you go along in the program. So you don't get checks routinely. It's just a refunded, a debit card that gets funding put back into it over time as needed, as you qualify. All right. So, are you eligible for this? And what really is it? This is generally, and you can see it as delineated on each of your unemployment websites. It's generally for self-employed individuals, independent contractors, or business owners that are impacted by COVID-19. The general situation is an independent contractor who falls within a series, and they list them. It's about 15 scenarios. The scenarios include you contracted coronavirus. Another scenario is a family member of yours contracted coronavirus. But the most common applicable scenario is the very last one. Read the last one on the list. It says that you, as an independent contractor, either became fully unemployed or partially unemployed. Look at that language, partially unemployed. Basically couldn't work a full number of hours because of coronavirus. So look at the last scenario if no one in your immediate family had contracted coronavirus or yourself, because it's that particular language that you may be eligible for. So if you are eligible for it, then what happens next? Well, basically, this is a program that assists you during the time in which you are impacted by that environment. A few other things to remember. First of all, this is not a diminishing fund. The fund is not going to dry up. Do not worry and think that this is sort of like PPP, that funds are not going to be available to you over time. That's just not the case. There's more than enough funding here. It's being paid on a state level. It's backed by the federal government, so don't worry about that. Second, apply as quickly as you can. If you're watching this video before April 28th, great. Get on that website and get ready to apply, or apply now if your state is open. If you're watching this video after April 28th, don't worry, but you will get your response time effectuated a little bit slower. It is a backlog process. There's a lot of applications, and there's only so many state officials that can handle, state employees who can handle processing all these massive unemployment cases, files. So don't worry, but it's going to be delayed. One other point to make is how long can you be on this program? Well, if you qualify, it's going to explain it on your state website, but it's over 30 weeks. That if you are still impacted, and you'll have to provide proof, you're still impacted because of coronavirus, into 20, 30 weeks, you could still receive benefits. Again, that's at least $167 per week, maybe more. But it follows much like the traditional unemployment situation. The reason for PUA in general is that some people would normally not qualify for unemployment because they are not W-2, they're not employees, they are independent contractors, they're W-9s. They would not normally qualify for unemployment insurance, and so the federal government was very informed and aware of that situation and wanted to provide those individuals relief under the CARE Act. And the reason for PUA is because a lot of people were not independent, were not W-2 employees. Now, when you go to PUA's website, you will see that it also applies to some people who are normally W-2 employees, and they qualify as well. So there's another area that's not being covered on this video that you may also apply to you in this situation. So with that in mind, understand that there's enough funds. They're not going to dilute. The application window is going to have a rush of stampede of people. Get your applications in as quickly as possible. And the most important thing is, do not worry. You'll get your payment, but it may be delayed. If you have any questions, comment below, because basically in the situation we're in, state unemployment offices are not open. They're not here to answer your questions. We are here. We're here to assist you in learning what you qualify for, how you do it, and when you get paid. Comment below and subscribe, and there'll be further updates on the subject.